Chad Fikema. I just finished my 25th year in coaching and my 11th year coaching in Hastings. First of all, I hope everyone is doing well in this very different and difficult time. It is unfortunate that we are not able to get together to celebrate the past basketball season because I believe we had a lot to reflect on and to celebrate from the past winter. Since we're not able to get together, we are putting together a Banquet video. I'll make a couple of quick comments here before we talk about each player individually. We had a lot of great moments this year, and this is a group I'm extremely proud of. I can't tell you how many times I heard from opposing coaches and some retired coaches who happened to watch us play that they really enjoyed watching our team. It was a team that was easy to root for, and this was a group that played hard for each other. A couple of my favorite things about this group was their togetherness and their resilience. One of the things we talked about was the concept that great teams develop great trust. They trust their teammates to be there, to do the right thing, and to do their job. In my 11 years in Hastings, we have had a lot of great kids from great families, and we have had good buy-in from players in terms of understanding the importance of doing what was asked. But this is one of the 3 teams that were a step above. These guys understood that we needed all 5 guys on the court to be on the same page. And as coaches, we greatly appreciated that this team trusted us and allowed us to coach them and put them in the best possible situation to be successful. We also love this team's resilience. This was demonstrated in many ways this year. We started the season 2-5, but the team never gave up on each other and what we were trying to do. We felt the tide starting to change the week we played Hudson and North St. Paul in December. And even before we played Prescott in a holiday tourney, we knew some good things were coming. This team then went 15-5 the rest of the season, won 9 games against teams 500 or better, and beat 3 teams that won 20 games or more. Overall, this was a special group of young men. I miss spending time with them every day, and I can't wait to see what our seniors do next, and I'm looking forward to working with the guys who are coming back again next winter. So at this time, let's talk about each player individually a little bit, while we enjoy some of the highlights of their individual seasons.
Hey guys, this is Coach Olson, JV coach for the Hastings Raiders. Just wanted to thank you guys for the awesome year. I miss already being on the courts, and I also want to just give a quick thank you to my wife Heather for putting up with all the shenanigans at home while I actually was able to relax, believe it or not, at practice. Michael Mitchell. Michael had probably one of the most unbelievable performances in a varsity game this year, and that's from anyone. When he came in late to the game against St. Thomas Academy and scored about, I think it was 14 points in like 6 minutes. Just a ridiculous scoring output in a short amount of time. And we came back and won that game. And that was Michael. Michael played with these bursts that were just phenomenal. And it happened in the JV game too. I think there was a JV game where he had, 16 points in a blink of an eye in the first half. And unluckily for the JV, I think we only had him for one half that night. Those are the things that we're really looking forward to Michael from next year. We want to see that as much as we can. Those flashes of brilliance, if we can extend them, he'll be a phenomenal player. John Kennedy. John played really, really well late in the year. And I think a lot of it had to do with kind of the chemistry between John and I. And we started to really kind of understand each other at the end of the year. And I think that we just were able to do a better job of putting John into spots where he felt really comfortable. And then once John was comfortable, it was amazing to see how well he played. He shot the ball really well pretty much the whole year. And it was really cool having known John for a lot of years now, all the way since, the youth basketball. It's been cool to see those and continuing improvement in his shot. And I thought he shot the ball really well from the three-point line this year. Deshaun Lovelace. Deshaun joined us late in the year. And given the kind of situation with how late in the year it was, I thought he did an amazing job of fitting in with the guys. He brought a lot of energy on the defensive side of things. And, I think my favorite Deshaun memory was actually kind of playing basketball with him at Old Man Basketball before he joined the basketball team. And that's kind of what he brought to our JV team too. Like when he would get into the game, he loved the defensive challenge and he would get after people. Carter Olson. Carter had a great year and really, really kind of came into his own at the end of the JV season. We've been kind of giving Carter grief through the beginning part of the year and even into the middle part of the year about being a little bit more physical and attacking the basket. And he really bought into that. Extremely coachable. it was fun to be able to say, hey, Carter, I want you to work on this, and then to see him really buy in and work on that particular aspect of his game. One of Carter's highlights, and probably one of my lowlights, is that he did beat me in one-on-one after practice towards the end of the year. I think it was when we were working on our scout for Lakeville. But Carter, bring it this summer. Whenever we're allowed to get back in the gym and play against each other, I got some new moves for you. Sawyer Schiller. I loved watching Sawyer play defense. It was so fun to watch him get into the grill of an opposing player and frustrate them and kind of be that pest on the defensive side of the ball. I do have to say that Sawyer was in the event that caused me to be about as heated as possible throughout the year. Sawyer jumped into a guy's space a little bit as he was catching the ball. And the guy swung an elbow at him, got frustrated, swung an elbow at him, and hit him right in the head. And that's about as mad as I've got all year when Sawyer took that shot to the head. That was, I thought, pretty obviously intentional. But throughout the year, that's one thing that we could always rely on Sawyer with, was that intense defensive pressure and the energy. Diving on the floor, there was never a moment of really care about his body. If it had to do with getting the ball for the team, he would do it. Logan Dalmas. Logan joined us this year, guys, for his first year of organized basketball, and it was amazing how much he was able to contribute, given the fact that he'd never really played before. He was able to pick things up pretty quickly, and I think his favorite drill might have been the closeout shell drill, where we threw skip passes out of the baseline trap. And he loved to attack the basket from the corner out of that one. And I think that was kind of his calling for practice-wise. In games, he did have a couple buckets, and it was pretty cool to see him get out there and find that success, especially from never having played before.
This is Cole Pottinger, a.k.a. Coach Cole, or Glasses Coach. I was the JV varsity assistant.
Axelrod, you know who it is because of what I just called you. I think that you had a really great year. I mean, I think you grew a ton from the beginning to the end of the year, and I think you kind of figured out what it was like to play at the JV varsity level and how physical it really was. And I was most impressed with this year. I think all of us as coaches were the most impressed with you and kind of your leadership abilities and how you would get on guys at practice that were older than you, and you weren't okay with people taking it easy. You wanted to go hard, and you expected to win no matter if you guys were going against the varsity team or not. You wanted to win, and I think that's something that is a huge skill that you have and a huge asset that you bring to the team, is just your confidence and your leadership ability. I look forward to kicking your butt in 3-point contests more this summer, and look forward to seeing you soon. Hey Connor, I think we had a fun year getting to know each other. We had some inside jokes. I got to call you soft a lot, and I think the one thing that we can both agree on that you did amazing on this year was your shooting and just kind of being able to shoot the lights out of it. And I think that you grew a lot this year in terms of your confidence and becoming more than just a shooter. I mean, there was a game against Tilbury, I think, we had 3 or 4 nice drives, and you were kind of getting the idea then that you are more than a shooter and you can drive, that you are super athletic. So I think the main thing with you is just keep on working on your confidence, man. You can do it. We all believe in you, and I know you'll do great. So I look forward to working with you this summer and kicking your butt and pig a few more times, but keep working hard, buddy. Joe Notch, my other pig partner. I know I kicked you and Connor's butt consistently this year at pig, but hopefully you guys can work on that and kind of provide a little more competition for me next year so I can get better. But back to the basketball side of what you did well this year. I think you were the best driver on the team, whether it was JV or varsity. I mean, the way you got to the basket, and you were going downhill and you were going to run over anybody in your path. I mean, people are afraid to get in the way of you, and I think it's something you were really, really good at this year, and I think you just need to continue growing at, just making the easy play, go up and finish a layup, or heck, throw it down. Why not? I think you had a great year, and keep on working hard on the outside shot and kind of making the easy play around the basket, and I think you're going to have a great summer this year. Hey Bailey, it's your favorite coach here. I think this year was kind of a growing year for you. I think at the beginning of the year you were kind of unsure about what we expected from you and what we needed you to do to be a successful player, and I think you really figured it out towards the end of the year, the second half of the year. I mean, there was that one game at home where I think you had 4 or 5 offensive rebounds in the second half, and it was what we were hoping you would do the whole year. I mean, you kind of figured out that when you play hard in all aspects of your game, the shooting just kind of came to you, and you got open looks just from playing hard. And I think that's something that you can continue to grow on and just keep on playing hard, because we know you can shoot the lights out of it, and And yeah, keep working hard on all aspects of your game, and you'll continue to improve. Other than that, I think you have the best shoe game on the team, and hopefully I can catch up to you soon. I bought a pair of Yeezys the other day, so I'm catching up. Take care. Hey Lucas, Coach Cole here. I think your greatest strength that you brought to our team this year is your physicality. I mean, it's a skill that very few people have at the high school level, but you were able to body guys smaller than you consistently, and hopefully you can continue to build on that strength and build on your other skills throughout the year too and develop a nice shot. But I think my favorite memories from you this year is your spin moves into the lane and your pump fake and ones. I think you had like 3 or 4 of them in one game this year, and you gave St. Thomas a few fits, and they wanted to fight you at the end of one of the games. But I think overall you had a great year, and yeah, I look forward to working with you this summer and keep on building your skills, and yeah, had a great year with you. Hey Jack, Coach Cole here. I think this year was kind of a tale of two halves for you. I mean, at the beginning of the year, I think you were kind of struggling, kind of down on yourself, and we had a conversation midway through the year, and I think your confidence really picked up from that point, and I think it showed in your play. I mean, you went from the beginning of the year to not really nailing threes to the end of the year. They kind of just like a switch turned on, and you had some swag to you, and you were nailing threes, and I was looking at Olsen like, holy schmoly, where did this come from? We did not expect you to be making 7 threes in a game against Henry Sibley, but I think this is a testament to how hard you work in practice every day and how much you cared about getting better each and every day. And it really showed. You had an awesome year, and hopefully you have an awesome summer this summer, and look forward to having you back on the court next year, Jack. Great job.
Evan McGinnis. Evan was a little bit nervous as the varsity season began, but he busted out in a big way in the 5th game of the year against Hudson, scoring 14 points. He then scored 16 points in an overtime game at North St. Paul, and then 12 points in the holiday tournament win over Prescott. Evan's biggest shot of the year probably came against Hibbing when he hit the game winner with about 2 seconds to go. This game showed a particular amount of growth for Evan because he overcame a night in which he didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but he stayed focused and determined throughout the night, hitting the big shot at the end of the game. Evan was an outstanding defender as well, understanding where he was supposed to be and what he was supposed to be doing, and he got much better as the season went along at driving into the paint and creating opportunities for teammates as well. Majid Mohammed. Majid joined the team in mid-January and had the difficult task of trying to learn team expectations, offensive and defensive philosophies in the middle of the season on the fly. In the first game he was able to play, he scored 16 points in the first half of the JV game and then scored 5 points in his first varsity game at Hill Murray. He followed that up with a season-high 12 in the game at Simley, but Majid's best game was at South St. Paul. He scored 9 points in that game, but it was probably his best game in terms of executing the team's defensive game plan, and he did a great job that night of controlling emotions in an emotionally intense atmosphere. I would expect that with a full summer and full preseason, that Majid has it in him to have a great senior season. JF Gadisa. JF was our starting point guard this year and had an outstanding junior season. We are a team that wanted to play fast, and his role as the point guard was crucial in getting us up and down the floor quickly. Jiffy had 9 assists in our home win against South St. Paul and had a run in early February where he scored in double figures 5 games in a row, including 18 points in the home win over St. Thomas Academy. Jiffy was also one of our most trusted defenders. He was great at getting red line help on defense and often would rotate quickly to intercept and create turnovers when teams tried to make passes into the post. His rotation on defense was one among the best on our team, and he led the team in taking charges this year. JF had an outstanding junior year. I can't wait to see what he does next year as a senior. Jackson Kirchhoff. Jackson had an important role in our team this year, and he understood that role really well. Jackson provided a strong inside defensive presence and was one of our best rebounders. You would often see us put Jackson into games late in key situations when we needed a key stop or a big rebound. Jackson understood how to rotate along the baseline early and cut off drives, and he played even bigger roles in games against Prescott and Matamidi, teams that had more size and strong inside players. One of the things that we love most about Jackson is his desire to be excellent in everything he does. This is a quality that will serve him really well throughout college and beyond. We can't wait to see what he does next. Will Johnson. Will was a tremendous asset to our team this year in many ways. One of his best games was at Simley, a game in which he made 3 three-point shots in the first half and contributed 11 points. Will was a defensive spark plug for our team throughout the year. Anytime we needed to change the pace defensively or to go out and make some things happen, Will was always there and ready to go. One of the greatest things about Will, though, was seen in practice. His ability to be a great teammate this year was second to none. He worked hard every single day in practice, and his sheer presence made us a better basketball team. It forced everybody else to rise to his level of intensity and effort. We would not have had the success that we had this year without the contributions of Will. We greatly appreciate everything that he did for our program this year. Malik Sellner. Malik is passionate about winning, and his primary concern was the team winning the game rather than how much he scored, played, or whether or not he was a starter. Malik provided a competitiveness and a toughness to our team this year. He was one of the best players at winning 50-50 balls. He started his varsity career with a bang by scoring 16 points in our overtime win at Park, and he followed that up with a 15-point effort in a Christmas tournament win over Prescott. Overall, we are extremely grateful that Malik had the opportunity to play varsity basketball with us this year. We appreciate his hard work, his growth, and want him to know that he is always welcome back and that we are always just a phone call away. Izzy Arnold. Izzy started every game for us this year and had an outstanding season. Izzy had 4 games this year in which he scored 17 or more points, including an 18-point effort against Matamidi, a game in which he made 4 out of 5 3-point shots. He also scored 17 points on the road at Duluth East, where he had several great finishes against a team that had outstanding size. We liked putting Izzy in situations this year where he could drive to the rim. He was one of our best guys at driving directly, even against bigger competition. Izzy also understood defensive rotations really well and often drew one of the toughest defensive assignments. Izzy had a great year this year and is a player that we are going to miss. Trey Swanson. Trey was one of the guys this year that we had a really hard time taking out of the game. He was one of the best plus-minus guys on the team and was a glue guy in terms of our team's performance when he was on the floor. Trey led the team in rebounding this year with almost 9 rebounds per game and in steals with 56 steals on the season. He was also our second leading scorer at 11 points per game and third in assists with 84. Trey scored in double figures 18 times this year and had a career-high 25 points in our overtime win at Park. Trey was also our best on-ball defender, and we would assign him to the other team's leading scorer in almost every game. If you ask Trey, his 2 dunks were among his personal highlights this year, but I greatly enjoyed and appreciated his growth as a teammate and leader on the team. Colby Zach. Colby gained confidence and a better understanding of himself as a player throughout the season this year. Colby was one of our best offensive players and averaged over 10 points per game in his senior year. He is an excellent mid-range shooter, which is a bit of a lost art, and was second on the team in shooting percentage from 2-point range. Colby scored in double figures in 14 games and had a season-high 23 points in an exciting game against Hudson. It was really enjoyable as a coach to see Colby grow in confidence and as a young man over the course of the past season and the last 3 years. Colby served as a captain this year and worked hard at serving the team and being a positive leader both through words and his actions. We wish Colby all the best at Mizzou. Devin Harrelson. Devin led the team in scoring this year at 15 points per game and in field goal and free throw shooting percentage. He scored over 20 points 7 times this year, including a career-high 38 points in our home win over South St. Paul. Devin has one of the best basketball IQs of any player I've coached in 25 years. I don't know that we ever had to tell Devin anything more than once. We almost always wanted Devin to have the ball late in games, and he often seemed to come up with clutch shots at key moments, including making 2 free throws at the end of regulation to send the Park game to overtime, and going coast to coast to score a buzzer beater to send the first North St. Paul game to overtime. What Devin accomplished this year was nothing short of remarkable. He was basically cleared to play on the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, and then that next Saturday he scored 21 points in his first game of any kind in almost a year and a half. The determination, focus, and resilience he showed over the past few years was outstanding, and those qualities will serve him extremely well in the years to come.
As a whole, this season, for me personally, was kind of what I expected. I know last year we probably had more talent, but this year, it was our senior year, we'd been together forever. We were like, we're gonna be a good team, and we've known that since 5th grade. We kind of came in, and then obviously the younger guys played a huge part, JP, Evan, Majid, Michael even. But we came in and we kind of blew everyone else's expectations out of the water. We were like, oh, they lost Isaac, they lost Matt, they're not gonna be anything. I think that overall, we really just outshot what people thought we were gonna be. This group of seniors is different because we've been together absolutely forever. And I really credit that to Pete Zach. He really brought us together in 3rd grade. Me, Colby, Devin, and Andy actually started our traveling seasons in 4th grade or 3rd grade. And then third grade spring ball is when we kind of got everyone back together. Sucks to lose Danny, Andy, but it is what it is. But yeah, we've bonded, and I think that's the same for the class below us as well. We bonded through Rochester. We were all kind of like Coach Moore said once to us in practice that he's never seen a group of seniors so like tight, or a group of freshmen so tight knit, because like we all hung out together. I know he said about the grade above us that they all kind of had their groups like separate and they never like hung out all together. We were always together no matter what. This year I think we especially grew closer as a team just throughout like some of our harder wins. I know right away we played Cambridge, and that was what it was. We played worse than we were. But then we come to Park, and Park's not an exceptionally like unbelievable team, and we take them to overtime, end up winning by 1. And then I remember Izzy and Malik fighting in the locker room afterwards. And it's just like stuff like that we got over together. And JF was down on himself sometime in the season, and everyone kind of contributed to pick him back up. And then he really stepped out of his shell and became an extremely important piece for us down the line. So that was huge. And then yeah, just stuff like that. Team dinners, like we all went to. I knew me personally, I didn't like know any of the juniors very well. I obviously played with JF a ton, Evan and Carter, because they were on the team last year. But like people like Sawyer, Lucas Knoll, John Kennedy, we were just like, everyone kind of came together. Even the sophomores, Axel and Michael, were just a lot of fun to be around, and we all kind of came together like that. My favorite memory has got to be North St. Paul at the end of the year. I just remember, I don't know why this brings me pleasure, but seeing their faces at the end of the year when we beat them, they were not happy. Very end, their coach getting ejected, the crowd storming the court even though it wasn't. I mean, yeah, it was a big deal. Our last home game, I don't know. I think that, along with Hibbing, Prescott, Evan hitting that big shot, beating Prescott for the first time in however long, I thought they were just huge. What I'm gonna miss most about this team is honestly just being together. Like, obviously I love basketball, but like, there's something about a team that brings like brotherhood into your lives. And I mean, like, personally for me, I work at a golf course, I hang out with guys every day, and we kind of form a family there. But it's different when you're all working to achieve a goal. I think it's kind of crazy how much you can go through fighting, you can go through other stuff together. Like, I just remember people being down on themselves, people being mad at coaches, and we all just, eventually at the end of the year, we all came together.
Well, first off, I'd just like to say sorry for this little mane that I got. I know a couple of you have called me Lil Huddy. I thank you for that. But overall, I think this year we overachieved our talent. Coming from starting off the year not so strong, we obviously got our wins at Casson, but they weren't very good wins. We played not that well. But overall, I think this season we overachieved our talent by just getting third in the conference and beating teams that we thought we weren't going to beat, or at least people said we weren't going to beat. I think the reason we did so well as a team is because of how much of a family we were. From the sophomores up to the seniors, we all had the connections, and we all felt like brothers. And even with coaches and all of you guys all helped us out too. And we all felt like a tight-knit community, and that's why we won games, was because of our communications and the way we were able to communicate with each other on the court, both on and off the court, and just the connections we were able to make. We were just all around a family together. So the one thing that I'm gonna miss most about this year is just the connections and friendships that we all made this year. On and off the court, just the connections and memories we had together. From even like, I'm just thinking about back, just the 8 years that we've been together ever since third grade. Us seniors, it's our last year together, and I'm always gonna remember this. And I'm glad that you sophomores and juniors were able to be there with us for our last final ride, and I'm really thankful for everything that you guys have been with us. Love every single one of you, even you, Axel. My favorite memory from this season was definitely either the North St. Paul game or the Prescott game. And this is because, especially in the North St. Paul game, when we all stormed the court at the end of the game, we were all just jumping around, and it just created this like perfect memory. Like I saw my brother do it my 9th grade year when they beat Montemedi, and a bunch of us just stormed the court, and I was like, man, this is amazing. I hope we get to do this. And a lot of this is credited to like our fans and stuff, and like the people who came to our games, especially you parents. I know you guys didn't storm the court, but you guys really, you guys were out there on the court while we were jumping around, and we know you guys felt the excitement like we did. And we thank you for everything you guys have done for us, and all of the games you guys have sacrificed to be at and everything. And it's just amazing what you guys have done for us. And that's really why that North St. Paul game was probably my favorite memory, was the ending when everybody stormed the court. The values I think we have learned as a team this year are that if you put your head down and grind through it, that you can beat anything. I think this was especially true in one of the games where we were supposed to do pretty well against them. We were pretty evenly matched, was against Blake. Starting out the game, it was pretty even, and then we got down by a good amount. We let this one guy shoot a lot of threes, and he made a lot of them. But we never let up, and something just clicked in our brains as a team, and we just put our heads down, and we knew we could beat this team because they weren't as good as us. And so we just grinded it out, and then we won the game. And I think that really defines our team, is we're just a bunch of grinders. We can't you can't put us down, you can't do anything like that, you can't get in our heads. We're a strong team, strong together team, and that helped us get through a lot of things together. And as a team, we really learned how to grind together especially, and that's what families do.
Hey boys, coaches, family members, welcome. I just want to say a few things about our team and the experiences I've had this year as a captain and the past experiences with our class specifically, and as well as all of the players who have helped us throughout the season. This season means so much more for me, and I know a lot of others, just because it's been more than basketball, if that makes sense. Like, we've looked forward to team dinners just as much as we look forward to big game nights, and that's just because we love each other. We love being together as a family. We love doing stuff with each other, and it's just been a blast this past year to get to know everyone and help guide each other and help us all progress into young men. I think one thing our team did great this year was persistence and determination. Everyone doubted on our team at the start of the season. We knew we had a little less talent coming in, but we knew growing up that this was our team, this was our year, so we fought for it. We fought for every win we got. We were scrappy, we were undersized, but we were still determined, and that helped us win more games than any team Hastings varsity has had in a while. Again, one of the great things we had about our team was how close we were as friends as well as teammates. We would constantly love to be in each other's presence, whether it was before games, team dinners, at each other's houses on the weekends or whatever. We just loved that bond and that teammate family connection, and we just kept it going throughout the year, and I'm really glad we had that. And hopefully we'll keep having that despite the fact that the season's over. We'll continue to stay in touch and continue to be friends. A message I have for the other classes coming up, whether you were a junior or sophomore last year, is just make sure you form those bonds with all your teammates, make good friendships, and listen to your coaches. Fike and Olsen really know what they're talking about. They put years into this. They know a lot more than you. Trust me, they know what they're talking about, and they're trying to help you in every way possible. So it's been amazing. I'm so glad I've been a part of this team for the past 3 years, and especially this year with this specific group of guys.
We have a number of awards for our players this year, starting with awards from our conference. We were 12-4 in conference play, so this year we have 5 players recognized by the conference for their outstanding play. First, honorable mention, all conference. Izzy Arnold and Jafi Gadisa. Izzy and Jafi were both integral parts of the team this year. Both players are excellent defenders and understood rotations really well. Jafi was our primary ball handler and played a huge role in pushing the ball up the floor and dictating the pace of play. Izzy was outstanding at driving to the rim, and his ability to shoot from the perimeter forced bigger players on other teams to extend defensively, which opened up more driving lanes for teammates. All conference, Colby Zach, Trey Swenson, and Devin Hurlton. All 3 of these guys averaged double figures this year, and each of them had games where they led the team in scoring. Colby was an outstanding mid-range shooter and would often make difficult shots in key moments when her team needed a basket. Trey made great strides as a three-point shooter, could finish at the rim, and was our best defender, always getting the toughest assignment. Devin was our unquestioned leader. is one of the highest basketball IQ players I've coached in 25 years and was the player other teams would key on defensively in their scouting reports. The next 3 awards are voted on by the team. First, the Hustle Award. The winner of this award has a reputation for working hard at every sport he plays and in everything he does. His effort in practice and games this year never wavered, and our team would not have had the success it did without him. The winner of this year's Hustle Award is Will Johnson. Next, the MVP. The winner of the MVP award this year always seemed to come up with big plays at big moments in games. His perseverance and determination over the past several years is an inspiration, and his performance this year earns him this award. The winner of the MVP, Devin Harrelson. Next, the Raider Award. This award goes to the player that represents everything a Hastings basketball player should be. Basically all the intangibles, including working hard, a team-first attitude, doesn't care who gets the credit or how many points he scores. This year, the Raider Award goes to Jafi Gadisa. I would like to close by saying thank you. First, thanks to the team. Thanks for being coachable, for working hard, and thanks for being great teammates. Thank you for the memories. I wish you all the best and hope all the seniors make sure to stop in and say hello down the road. I want to thank our managers, Ellie Gullix. Ellie was a loyal manager for the past 2 years. She sang the national anthem, made the team cookies for after games on the road, and could be trusted with any task she was given. We're going to miss her, and she'll be hard to replace. And Billy Utecht. Billy was a critical member of our team because he genuinely cares about each member of the team and would do anything to help and encourage guys during games and practices. And Dylan Wagner. Dylan is a high-character young man who wasn't able to participate this year due to injury, but the fact that he remained a part of the team and was able to give advice and encouragement when needed says a lot about who he is. I would like to thank the parents for their positivity and encouragement to the team. The words parents use with their kids at home can have a big impact on whether or not the kids buy into what is going on, and the fact that this team had great buy-in says great things about the parents. So thanks again to the parents for all your support. And let me close by thanking Colby Zach for working on this Banquet video. Colby did the editing and put together the highlight clips for this, so a big thank you to Colby for all the time he invested. Thanks again, everybody. I wish you and your families the best and hope everyone stays healthy throughout this whole process. Hopefully it won't be long and we can see each other again.